Yo, Twitch TV. I am very aware right now that I'm probably streaming to absolutely nobody, but that doesn't matter because the whole point of this stream is essentially to get good at Racer's Ruin. So, in case you guys don't know, in case you're catching this after the fact, I fly for Alpha Prop Drone Racing Team on DCL the Game. Also, co-host of Apex Community webcast on YouTube, and yeah, just general kind of all-around do-gooder within the drone racing community. And yeah, I mean, really, my mission is to just kind of help people get good, I guess, at DCL. So let's do that. Goody ASG, my man, hello, thank you for the follow. I was absolutely wondering, like, when in the hell you were actually going to turn up. It's only been like a couple of weeks, right? They do worse. Appreciate the love, my dude. So yeah, the whole point of this stream, basically gonna be there as a video on demand kind of thing for people looking to get good at the game. Nemesis, wow. Dude, this is ridiculous. Really getting some follows. Appreciate the love, you guys. So yeah, we're kind of here just mucking around on Roulette. I'm just kind of warming up right now because I'm really not very good at this track. It's been a long time since I've actually flown it. And yeah, I'm not feeling too confident about this week. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It's not looking good for me. So yeah, apologies already to Alpha Prop for the terrible times. Alright. I think the key is going to be nailing that first bit, if I remember rightly. This is tough as well. Like, lining that up. Shooting around this bit. Ugh! Yeah. Okay, I'm kind of gradually remembering my way around this track now. It's a toughie though, man. I think my record on this was like... I want to say maybe... I think it was like 48? I don't know. I think the record at the moment was like sub 30 seconds, which is just phenomenal. Absolutely no way I'm going to be getting that. I would like to think... I think I watched my replay on this track like earlier today, and I crashed, I think, on my fastest time in time trials. I did actually crash, so taking that into account, I'd like to think like low 40s is that's gonna be where we end up. That would be like super good. No promises though. I mean, like, you guys probably know, if you're watching this and you know DCL the game, whoa, it's a grindy game. Absolutely missed the finish. Whoa, 54. Okay, well, dude, even that we're sub 1 minute already, so it's not awful. Could be way worse. I'm upset that that's now my my actual official time on the leaderboard. Hey, it's sub 1 minute, right? It's the whole point of the grind. Hit that sub 1 minute. Meow Kaneko. I have no idea whether I pronounced that right. Appreciate the follow though. Thank you very much. Early start, it doesn't matter. We want to get a feel for this track right now. Where we can pre-turn things, where we can kind of boost through, how we can kind of cut corners. It's all a case of getting fast over time. Like, it's not going to happen immediately, and I think that's one of the things I like to tell people when Goody saying stream dropped out as soon as you followed. Dude, it's because it's too full of awesome. That's why your internet connection's terrible. You need to get off of that 4G router, and you need to you need to get yourself a hardwired connection. So far, I can still see the stream okay on my side, so I'm hoping it's okay for everyone. You're on the loo. Amazing. Too far from the router. Well, I did say something. I acknowledged your follow, and I very much appreciate it. Just don't expect me to be tuning into your streams. I got other things to do. I'm watching Sea of Thieves. Ah, thank you. So yeah, like I was saying, it's one of the things with DCL is you're not gonna get good like immediately. It takes a while, like grinding out every track, linking little sections together, and I think that's what we're gonna do for a little bit. Just kind of try and get used to this first section, like really. I'm going to avoid that little dip over the wall for now, mainly because I know I'm going to crash there a lot. So we'll kind of just fly this route for a little, get a feel for what it's like behind the sticks. Just generally tighten things up, because really that's where a lot of the time is just being tight and precise. Kind of getting a feel for where you can pre-turn stuff. Goody Cold War replays though, dude. I'm half I got half a mind to host your channel, and then when you go live, you can be live on my channel too, and you can have like an additional 0 watches from me. Just because I'm nice like that, you know. I'm well aware of the fact that we missed the gate. Thank you very much, game. That's not the point of this right now. The point is very much to get fast at this one little section. Woohoo, clip that. Right. I'll add you to my list then. Thank you very much. And then, yeah, we can both benefit each other with 0 viewers. Right. I think I'm relatively okay at that part now. I'm going to try and link this up. Oh, man. Yeah, this is tough. I remember why I don't like this track now. Like, really don't like this track. Only this one section. Everything else is kind of nice. It's a really flowy track. Like, there's some tough right-hand turns, but we'll get there. Is it going to be faster for me going right or left through that? I don't know. I always go left, mainly because I don't know, or right even. God, I'm going right. Okay, I thought I usually went left through there. Maybe that's why then. I am left turn dominant normally, so yeah, that's odd. Left turn. I don't know, I'm not feeling the left. That's weird. Maybe I have drilled it into myself that it should be right. It's also the first time that I've flown this track at a low, well, I say low, at a low number with my camera angle. Normally my camera angle is well, this is my new camera angle setup. This is what I use. It's what I have used for a couple of months now, because camera angles in the 40s are generally what the guys will use that fly this in the professional leagues. So I've been toying with the idea of lowering my camera angle. I always used to fly a much higher camera angle. But it's not really till I've properly picked this game up on PC where the frame rate is good enough that I can actually see what I'm doing that I've been able to actually nail tracks with a much nicer camera angle. 42. Wow, okay. Dude. That's yeah. Okay. It wasn't a great lap either, which is interesting. Like I say, I think my record up until this point on time trials was a 48. So it's interesting to see how much of a difference it makes now coming back, changing the camera angle, changing the PIDs, changing the rates, getting them set up nice. Also, chat-wise, if I don't reply to messages in chat straight away, I think you could probably kind of guess that I'm kind of in the zone sometimes, like playing this game. I will get back to you though, I promise. We will take little breaks, because God knows I need them. So if I don't spot anything in chat straight away, I do apologize. As soon as I do notice, though, I promise I will respond. So if anyone's got any questions, you know, totally put them in chat. Questions about PIDs, questions about rates, questions about, I don't know, how to get good. Appreciate very much that right now it's kind of looking sketchy. So you may not want my advice on how to get good at this track right now. The whole point of this stream is this is my grind. So I grind these tracks out every single week. Normally prior to making my videos for Apex Community on YouTube. In case you guys don't know, Apex Drone Racing Team has a community side where we basically engage with the community. Like, it's the whole point. Apex as a drone racing team in the Drone Champions League, we want to be like the guys that just help out, you know, like if people are new to FPV, or you know, you want to get good at DCL the game, that's the whole point of Apex Community. So yeah, I mean, by all means check the channel out. So every week I upload track guides for team trials and solo trials. I normally crash a lot, but we go through the tracks like super slow, pick apart every little detail, you know, where's best for grinding, drilling, getting yourself used to various maneuvers and stuff. Pay more attention. Yeah, so I mean, they're kind of, I think a lot of people think they're quite helpful, which is good. I mean, it's still a relatively new thing for us to be putting out like video content for the community. Historically, it was always just a Facebook page, so we're really trying something new this year. And yeah, before I put up those videos, I have to grind the tracks like a crazy amount, because there's no point being slow at a track if you're trying to help people get fast at a track. So that's what we do at Apex Community. We put the hours in so you don't have to. Okay, this one's not looking bad. How can we cock it up? By missing the finish gate. Oh, what? That was going to be a sub 40. What? Dude, the pain. Rip that run. Oh. If you've never played DCL the game before, that is something you will have to get very, very used to. Smashing the finish gate. Oh, I can't believe it. It's a good job I'm streaming on Twitch. I would have been really annoyed about that otherwise. In my private times. That would have not gone well. Things would have been smashed. controllers would have been thrown, rage quits would have been the theme of the day. Maybe this one. Let's try it. Oh god, overshot that. A 38. All right, sub 40s. Whoa. We're getting there. We're getting there. Dude, this is a grind, this track. I think we're en route for like a decent, maybe a 35. Hey, that would be cool. Ah! Starting to get used to this now too. Just trying to think of little places that we can include in this week's track guide that are good for grinding. Let's have a look. I mean, this is clearly a section that you can grind pretty well. I mean, we were doing it at the beginning of the video. Some nice switchbacks, like that's really decent, kind of unsighted, getting the feel for the quad sort of territory. I mean, that I'm gonna bounce that an awful lot. But it's really a case of trying to find spots on the track that you can make a mini track out of, and just kind of bite-sized chunks, I think, is the best way to approach a lot of these tracks. So, I mean, I suppose this section's probably not too bad. Like, you probably get away with... Hold on, where do we come out of there? That, if we double back around, maybe through here. Would this work? Whoa, okay. You've actually got to fly through the gate. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling that. That could work. There's a big section of that is clearly quite surplus to requirements, but I think I can make it work. Scooting around. Yeah, okay. Gonna shave some altitude off, maybe. Damn. Damn! Going too well. Okay. Overshot that. Never mind. Ooh, okay. Need to really power on. Ain't so bad. That was pretty poor. Okay. Punching it down. Yeah, okay. I mean, I feel like I'm getting a decent hang of the second part of this track now. Oh, yeah, that was probably sideways. I don't know if anyone else has the same thing as I do. I really have an issue with like the way that I sit. Like if I'm not sitting in the exact right position and my hands aren't in the exact right place on the controller, I really struggle. Like there, like it slipped down and it threw me. Oh, this is so tough. Okay. That was poor. But it's all about the grind, so, you know, don't immediately throw a lap away, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, just because you had a poor start, like, DCL is so much about flow state that it's uber important to keep grinding away at a track. And grinding away at the whole track as well. Like, it's difficult to pick up decent flow state on DCL if you're not going the whole track every time. Like, although saying that, of course, I fully appreciate that we are hitting a lot of restarts right now. But I know this track, so I know there's going to be a lot of people that are probably new to the game this time around for this season, who maybe don't know the track, who are coming at it with controller or, God forbid, mouse and keyboard. But you know, like, if that's you and you want to learn how to fly these tracks, I would strongly suggest just, like, fly the whole track. If you're crashing, doesn't matter, fly the whole track. If you go the wrong way, doesn't matter, fly the whole track. Like, every time, at least for the first hour, I reckon, like, fly the whole track, because it's an awesome way to get into, like, the flow state of the whole thing. How the hell was that like a 38.9? Wow. Yeah, for anyone who's just joining, we are grinding out this week's team track in anticipation of this week's DCL The Game track guide, which I hope to have uploaded for Apex Community tomorrow. If you haven't already, check out Apex Drone Racing Community's YouTube channel, Apex Community, where we already have this week's solo track up. I may well jump on that in a little while, just for the lols, because my time on that track is not incredible yet. It's okay, like, it'll do the job, but I feel like I need to put in a little bit more time, really grind that time down. I think I'm only 5 seconds off of the pros, which is actually kind of impressed myself this week. But then again, it's Monday, and I don't think I've seen a time from Minjay yet, so or Andreas, actually. I don't know if Andreas has set a time. Shout out to Andreas. Absolutely, as Asylum would say, killing it. My Australian friend. Okay, we are getting better at that. Still not full stick the whole way through there. This transition's becoming easier. Learning to sight that through the trees. How long's it been? I don't know. Should really see how long I've been streaming for, and then that would give me an idea as to how long it's taken me to be this bad at this track. Oh, okay, that's an interesting line through there. I like that. That was that felt faster. Can we replicate it though? That is the thing. I don't know. We don't even get there. Well, that was significantly quicker though. We crashed already ahead of our personal best, so this is what's killing me for time though. Like, if I bump the camera angle, it's gonna be better. I know it will, but I don't know if I want to bump the camera angle because I'm so used to Dude, my dog is right under my feet. This is so unfair. That's why I can't get a good hand position on my controller, because the dog is sat right where I want to put my foot. Okay. This is gonna be an evening of just awful, awful times until the dog moves, so... Not sorry. See, at Alpha Prop, the grind is so real. So real! Dude, can you shift? Come on, buddy. That's it. Out the way, Bubba. Go in your bed. You got a nice bed there. Dogs, man. Forever, like... You buy them all the stuff in the world, and they just want to chew the things they're not allowed to, sleep on the things that they're not supposed to. Okay, not awful. Okay, that's definitely a faster line through there. Just gotta have confidence. Really clip that. Oh gosh. 34. Oh. What was that, like 4 seconds? Yeah, it was. Wow. 4 whole seconds. Sheesh. And what's the record? 28. Oh man, 6 seconds off. Andreas. All right, man. Let's give this a little spectate. You know I love Andreas. Apex represent. Oh, the little sideways. Okay. I see you, Andreas. That's super tight. I think we need to work on those 2 little sections, really. I think more than anything else. Serious lap envy right now. And that finish as well. Dude, that's ridiculous. Okay. Why don't we just go back to the main menu? I don't know. Wow. We've got a lot of work to do. Good to see that Apex are jumping on in the... yeah, good to see that Apex jumping on in the Teams trials, man. That's cool. That is cool to see. Yeah. This is tough. This is a tough first gate. How does that work? Okay, like that. We're still kind of slower, but we can make that work. That could be super fast. Bit of a sideways start there. Okay, I think maybe we're punching the throttle a little too much. Coming off of that first section. We can tighten up some of these lines though, like there's no reason why we can't be pretty fast. Although I've got a feeling that that 34 is going to stick for a little while yet. We got pressure in the house as well. Already set a time. Pressure, my dude. You catch this. Props to you. Big respect from Alpha Prop to Cyclones. And grats to your pilot on winning the DCL competition the other week for logo designs. That was sick, man. Sheesh. Actually, looking forward to getting pressure on the Apex webcast as well. So I think we have Gundren FPV this week. He'll be joining us, and then after that, it's pretty much open season, I think. So I'm gonna have to see what Asylum FPV has in store for us. It was definitely Gundren this week. I can't for the life of me remember who we were supposed to have after that. I think it might actually be Pressure. I think we earmarked Pressure for this month. Or March even. Right, less talky, more fly. Didn't work! I'm determined to hit, like... Ah, man, how on earth? How did Andreas do it? He's too good! That's why he's a pro, and I am a terrible amateur. Okay, that was speedy. That felt way faster. We actually made up some good time. Punch it through there. That's gonna be slow. Never mind. Bang. Pressure, you've set a killer lap on this track already. It's ridiculous. I don't know how killer, because, you know... I've not looked. I didn't check. I didn't see the time. Ah, man, didn't pre-turn that. Two sideways. You need to flatten those turns out. Got to stay flat through the turns. That is a big key thing. Whoa, way too slow through there. Punch it. No. Yowzers! It's definitely time to be shaved off here. I'm feeling that very much so. We can figure out how to really send it through that first bit. Here, without shaving too much time off, that would be really good. 33. Okay. Get in there, my son. Okay. Okay, right. Let's just drop here for a minute. I think that's not a bad spot to be in. 33. 17th overall. We are... What's the fastest time? Pilots. Andreas got a 28.6. We're nearly within 5 seconds. Of course, Red Bull as well, you know, sponsors of the Drone Champions League. Who else hasn't set a timer for prop? What do we got here? Is it just me that set a time from Alpha? There you go. See, that's commitment right there. No doubt the other guys will be on there. Shreds and Bravo. Good old Juan, John, Johan, however Asylum says it. Mr. Braverick. Upper prop represent. Alright. How are we doing on solos now? 32nd. Andreas coming in with the 54. 58. So, see, I'm happy if I'm within 5 seconds, I think. there's still work to be done to get within 5 seconds on teams this week, like big time. We're half an hour in, right? And it's top 3 times. So, I mean, Alpha Prop, we are pretty well within like a second of each other, which is actually really good. So I'd like to think we'll be at the round about the 1 minute 38s, what 1 minute 39s, 1 minute 40s maybe. Would be pretty cool. I guess we'll see. So I'm going to do a little bit of testing now for tomorrow's Apex community vid, mainly because I've set a relatively respectable time. I don't mind if that is the replay that we have to use, I don't think, because it is almost within 5 seconds. So clearly when we were racing this, then this is going to be a real key section for learning, like, and I am by no means fast at this entire section, but I guess you could probably link that up as like a half track. Yeah, okay. So what, shoot through that gate, join the frying revolution, and then back up. Oh wow, okay, that's a bigger left-hand turn than I thought. Oh, okay, we've just found a short track, that's cool. That's interesting. I may use that as a learning aid for tomorrow. There you go. Almost. Fire it through there. I mean, I'm confident that that would work, I think, as a like a warm-up for this track. Like, it's not too full on, like you're not going the whole way around. But I think as a kind of repetitive, kind of infinite loop, I think that could be quite beneficial because it includes all of the really tough elements of that track. So I mean, the key really is punching it through this one. Once you're lined up, like, you just gotta go. Really cut that close. Like, this is it's a tiny gap to shoot for because of the angle of the gate. But if you can hit that and then switch back to here nicely. I mean, a lot of what we're doing involves some very fast, unsighted kind of stuff. So, yeah. I mean, punching it's not always going to get you through it. Put it that way. I mean, this could be way tighter. Like, I feel like I'm still lagging behind here quite a lot. Actually, that's a good spot for drills. I like that a lot. Especially, like, me as a left turn dominant person. Having somewhere to practice right hand turns is a godsend when it's like see, like, this section here, I feel like I'm way behind purely because I swing out too far wide every time. Like, I think this needs to be an awful lot tighter. That's going to be a good spot. And I think a relatively easy spot to pick up some time, maybe, he says optimistically. Boom. Never mind. Alright. This is the key here, like getting fast through there, I think. Maybe even the unsighted finish, although I don't want to kind of throw that in straight away. Ooh, came off the sticks there. I don't want to throw that in straight away purely because if I hit a really nice lap and I mess the finish, I will never forgive myself. That's pretty nice. Super unsighted through that gate, but I like it. Keeps you on your toes. Really pushing it. I mean, coming off the throttle sort of helps, but I don't really like to come off the throttle if I can help it. Seems to be getting really squirrely over there too, like there's just a real kind of sidewaysness that I'm not enjoying. See it there, the sideways? $34.4. I mean, the good thing is now it's feeling easier. Like it's... To say my PB previously was a 48, like, with a crash as well. Like only one crash, but still, it was a 48, and I think that really is testament to the fact that putting the time in... Ah! Oh no. Yeah, like really putting the time in on the sticks and just having like a practice regimen, I guess, like finding places to grind out different moves that you know occur often in the tracks. Like, I mean, we all know that like orbits are a thing on a lot of tracks, but actually being able to dial in an orbit around one object and then around another, like that's, you know, it's things like that that it's a really bad example of a spot, but it's stuff like that that's kind of helpful, I think, in the long term, because you're really kind of pushing yourself at that point to get better, and it's muscle memory. So much of it is just massive muscle memory. Massive muscle. Nice. Man. Pfizer, you say some stupid things. Yes. Yes, I do. Especially when we're doing our first ever stream and there is literally nobody watching it right now. Although I can't help but feel that chat would be a really awful thing. Trying to fly and like chat at the same time. Actually getting follows midstream as well was so tough. Mid-lap. That is the best way if you want to really put me off, is just if you're watching this on video on demand, if you really want to know how to put me off of a decent lap, wait until I am literally at the finish gate and then hit follow. That noise will just absolutely throw me so bad. Oh man, I'd be so tilted if that happened. Like some major league salt on the go. Okay. I am gonna have to take a quick break because work is absolutely manic this week. I think I've got an email. So, I'll be back in a minute, and if you're watching this video on demand, well, see you soon. Right, work commitment's done, at least for now, for another few minutes. Let's get back in the zone. That's one really difficult thing about DCL is step out of it for like 2 seconds and immediately have to absolutely remember everything all over again. Super difficult. Like, it feels like you have to relearn a lot of stuff. If you take too long between runs, like, I don't know, if you went to go to the toilet or something, probably wouldn't be too bad. But I think if you're doing something else that involves, like, using your hands, it's super difficult sometimes to get back into, like... It's a muscle memory thing. God, I hate hearing myself say that, but it really is. It's everything about drones. Freestyle especially is very much about muscle memory because you will be doing stupid things and you need to know what twitch reflexes and what twitch fibers. I mean, your body will instinctively learn like the right kind of twitchy moves to do when you notice that you are facing the wrong way. But it's very much like that, like drone flying full stop, freestyle, you know, whether you're flying freestyle, whether you're flying a tiny whoop, whether you're flying a racing quad, 6-inch, 7-inch, you know. So much of it is training your hands to do what you want them to do. And after that, it becomes instinctive. So it's good to not train bad habits in straight away. Like, this is clearly a bad habit for me. Like, the inability to hit that gate is costing me time, as is that, actually. Can we maybe like, this is not working for me. So, do we maybe go with trying to, like, rainbow flip up here? I mean, that's kind of almost just as difficult. I don't know if I'm feeling that. Clearly it's working for, like, for some of the guys. I don't know, I can't bring myself to do it. It's like, it's unsighted and it's kinda sideways. I think I preferred it when it was just unsighted and straight. When you're kind of coming in at an angle sideways, upside down, unsighted, I don't know, I'm not feeling that. Okay. Definitely overshooting that as well. Needs work. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Yeah, way, way, way up there. Cache 4. Appreciate the follow. Thank you very much. I'm a beginner. I have a lot of followers. If you've just joined, Cash, I am currently in the process of just grinding this track out in order to get an idea of what I want to do for my tutorial video for Apex Community tomorrow. So we're just kind of finding little lines that work. I guess ultimately maybe getting within like 5 seconds of the pros would be cool. But yeah, I don't know if I see that happening. Hopefully, who knows? If we can work on some of these lines, then it's entirely possible. 36. What do we want? 33. Ugh. I'd be happy with like a 33.6. We get 2/10. Is there 2/10 in this track? I don't know. That was probably 2/10 there off the start that we messed up. Never mind. Oh wow. Okay. Way too much throttle. Yeah, that's... I don't know. Why do we keep going sideways there? Something about the muscle memory at the moment that's just kind of pushing me sideways around here. Like, again. Push it. Yeah, that sideways move. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out how to dial that out. I might have to watch some. I might have to watch some more replays. Kind of figure out what we're gonna do with that. But I also don't want to forget like muscle memory for the rest of the track. So even though we cock up runs here and there, like it's still good to finish the rest of the lap. If only to kind of help make sure that you don't forget it. Like, I know that sounds really weird because, you know, hey, it's a track is a track, right? But it's kind of really useful. You don't have to do it every single time, but I like to make sure that I'm completing full laps, like full races here and there. Just mainly because it's very easy to forget what you were doing at particular points of a track if you just keep restarting and do the first like 3 gates. So I'll always kind of throw in the odd one where we kind of go a little bit beyond where we crashed, just to kind of, like here, you know? So we've had a crash. Carry on. You know? Okay, we crashed again. Yeah. There's a limit. I mean, you know, if you're crashing all the time, just take it gate by gate at that point, I think. Oh, wow. Sketchy. Did we miss the gate? Probably. Okay, this is a really wonky run. Them sideways, though. I mean, that's like, oh, that's such a leap of faith through that tree. Feels good, though. Feels good, though, when you hit it. Boy. I guess the other funny thing about this is, it's kind of people get to see the like the actual grind. Like people don't really see, like it's so easy for me and other guys to just kind of be like, hey, look, this was the fastest lap I did this week. Look, it was 3 or 4 seconds off the professional times and whatever. Look how cool and smooth and good it looked. But it takes a long time. Like it takes a while to really get good at one track, you know? So you might get like one absolutely like legendary run, but that's after like 6 hours of just continual grinding. But it makes it all worthwhile, right? Because we get to post cool videos on Instagram, and I think really like the main point of that is like engaging a wider audience, right? Because people don't know that drone racing exists. So you show them like a video of, I don't know, DCL the game, and they're like, oh wow, that's really cool, nice video game. And you're like, yeah, you realize we do this in real life though. All about engagement. I think it's one thing I've learned from being involved with Apex community, certainly, is there's just so much outreach within the drone racing community. There's a lot of people that want help and assistance, and you know, like it's, I don't know, it's just kind of, it's cool to see a professional racing team that's just so willing to give that back. Like that resonates, I think, because certainly me personally, living on a tiny little island, it's difficult to find out information about quads, quadcopters, drone racing in general. Like it's tough, you know, there's not a lot of, there's no one else that does it where I live, so I'm entirely reliant on the community to pull me through. If I've got a problem, like I'm building something and it doesn't work or whatever, like I'm so reliant on community help. So yeah, big fan. It's always good to push drone racing to people that have never seen it before, because it's, you know, I think it's going to be the sport of the future. Think about it. Formula E, yeah, it's kind of cool. The next big thing in motor racing, yeah, maybe. It's like Formula 1 with no noise. Doesn't really necessarily appeal to a lot of the petrol heads. But drone racing is just as eco-friendly, if not more so, because you're not lugging massive cars around, right? And also, they sound awesome. Have you ever heard a racing quad in real life? Like, the way that the kind of, as you hit like a bit of prop wash or something like that, and you can hear the sound of the air kind of getting churned up by the props as you kind of bounce your way through it. It's insane. It sounds so cool. So I'm kind of amped for the Drone Champions League. I think, especially in Europe, as a team sport as well, like the only team sport for drone racing. To have such a massive platform is just phenomenal. I'm so happy that we've got DCL back for another year. Next season, of course, kind of a cross between virtual and real. I think we're probably going to end up with more virtual races than real ones. I know they've got at least one penciled in. So it'll be interesting to see where we end up flying next year. I mean, I'd love for it to be Europe. I really would. Mainly because I live there, of course. But I think just for like being able to travel, I don't know. It's the way that the world is right now. I think it's going to be a tough ask to actually put on any live events next year. I think we're going to see a lot of video game stuff again, which was great. Like, don't get me wrong. I just think it's going to be tough to actually stage a race until this is all blown over. How long is that going to take? I don't know. Not long, I hope. Because it sucks, because even in lockdown, like, you can't even... Certainly here, I can't even fly. Like, I'm not allowed to fly. Drones are banned. So even flying my little Mobula, my tiny Whoop in my garden the other day was technically illegal. Don't tell the man. What was that? Oh man. Yeah, another thing about DCL, sometimes you'll get a weird start. Like there, we went sideways a little bit. Doesn't matter if you straight up on the sticks, sometimes you'll get a wonky start. I think that's a kind of carryover from wherever you reset from. If your props are spinning at the time that you reset, you tend to... Like there even. Do we think there's more time in this track? I think there is. I really do. It's just going to be tough to pull it off. That's going to be a key area to make some time up. I think that's the difficult bit, is pushing it through there right now. Like, yeah, see, that could do with some pre-turning, I think. Pushing through there's okay. Pushing through here. Whoa, squirrely. We're already like miles behind right now. I don't know, I can feel that there's more time. I can feel it in my waters. King of the keyboard. I actually saw the other day, I think it's an Xbox pilot using a mouse and keyboard, or like, well, not a mouse, using a keyboard. Like, that's insane. I can't use a controller. Like, I have to use a radio. And this guy is getting times that aren't actually that bad. I mean, I think he's one of the fastest on Xbox with a mouse, with a keyboard. That's crazy. That's mad. That's absolutely insane. Shane, I think it was, which is funny because that's my name, but it's spelt differently. Yeah, guy from French France. Insane. Absolutely mad. Honestly, like, given the opportunity to fly a drone racing sim, you think like, oh well, that's fine. Like I'll get it on my Xbox. I'll use my Xbox controller. Who in their right mind goes, I'll get this drone racing sim, and then I'm going to use a keyboard? Insane. Like, I take my hat off to you, sir. If I didn't have to take off my headphones first, I would absolutely do that. All right, come on. Punch it. We need 0.2 of a second. No. 0.2 of a second. Can it be done? Is it even possible to get within 5 seconds of Andreas as #1 pilot on this track right now? I don't think it is, you know. I think we're losing too much time to ourselves. To ourselves. A friend of mine did once tell me to go absolutely full send through here, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay, it's probably faster. It's just a lot to think about in a very short space of time. We can't even make it through the first gate now. I think we're nearing the end of the grind on this particular track this week. I may have to hop onto a different track to preserve some of my sanity. It's a good thing for your own mental health to just know when to stop with this game, because it's very one more go, right? But that's sometimes not the best way to play it. Okay. Where do we mess up? Here? No? Here. Yeah. Alright. That's enough. That's enough of that for now. I think what we're going to do is head on over to... you know what would be funny? Let's go and ignore... Alright, hold on. So ignore the times up at the top, because they are terrible, most of them. This was from like day one, okay, when I first ever had this game. I would set times on this, and I really know what I was doing. Yeah, I have not revisited time trials in a very long time. Maybe some of the lightweights. I know I was doing heavyweights for a little while. They're super duper tough. Let's have a look. DCL 19. Hard, and it was Racer's Ruin, right? Oh wow, look, there's threading the needle from last week. Oh, 1:16? What was my record? What did I get last week? I don't even know. I can't even remember. Was it 1:16? Hey, what, we can find out, can't we? Recent events. Acro solos. Drop down trying to park. Okay, it wasn't that. It was team trials last week. 54. What? So, in a year, we've taken off 16, 22 seconds, 21 seconds and a bit. Wow. It's just funny going back and seeing like the progress that you make, you know? It's crazy. Alright, Racer's Ruin. Let's can we spectate? No, we're gonna have to jump into a race, okay. Spectate. Go FPV. So this is my personal best. Okay, wow, that was clunky. You can tell my rates were like super twitchy too. Lots of hunting. Like in case you don't know, hunting is when you're trying to turn, but you're kind of making small movements. It's not like a smooth. Okay, there's the smash. I probably lost us about 3-4 seconds. Okay, there's another one. I reckon we're probably like a good 10 seconds of smashes. Oh, okay, yeah, wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. I was posting these videos as well to, I was posting these videos to Instagram and stuff. Wow, that's sad. Oh, wow. I can't believe that was like a fastest lap. Yeesh. I feel like I need to go in and correct that. But then at the same time, I'm a bit tired of that track now. What's it been? It's been an hour and 12 minutes. So we're going to grinding that track out for an hour. Let's have a look at this one. This is the solo trials track for this week. Tunnel Run, probably one of my all-time favorite tracks of all time ever. Absolutely love Lax. Such a good map. It looks even better in the night times. How good is this run? Slow through there. Kind of tight. There's a little bit of a hunt. Yes, we pre-turned those. Got kind of close. That's wide. That's way too wide. That is also not a rainbow flip. Not wide. That is shonky. Oh, wow. What kind of angle was that? I'm surprised we actually made it through. Wow. Do we keep this flat? Okay, yeah, we were flat your turns at that point. It's fine. Keep it up through there. How tight? Oh, drifted way wide. Okay through there. Little wide through there. We see left, left, left bollard. I mean, it's not awful. It's not awful. I'm not going to set a time on this in time trials, purely because if I set a really good time in time trials and I then can't beat it in solo trials, I'll be really, really upset. Let's give it a go. I'm just going to quick jump on my mobile, double check some stuff for work, and then we'll rip the solo trials track. Be right back. Yo! Hi there, no one. Back at it again. Alright, so solo trials then. Should be mediocre at this track because I've just finished filming the track guide for it, which is now on YouTube. So if you're watching this video on demand, check out Apex Community YouTube, because that's where all the cool stuff is. That's where the short videos are. If this is boring, watching the grind, that's where all the cool videos are. Shreds. I see Shred main. Shred main. How do you do? Shreds, of course, is a fellow Alpha Prop racer who consistently beats me by, like, I don't know, sometimes it's real close, like super close. Other times it's like he beats me by like a second or so, and I get really butthurt about it. I don't really. Shreds. Oh, looks like he gets ahead of me then. How much? How far ahead? How far ahead is the Shred? I feel like I want to set a time here, just Okay, so looks like my personal best finished ahead of Shreds. Why did we go that side of the pollard? What are you doing, man? Fly this properly. Okay. Sorry, Shreds, I really want to know the times. People say I'm competitive. They are right. But I'm nice competitive. I'm not an arse. 58.8 is my PB. Shreds a set of 59.1. Dude, he's coming for me. I can see it already. Damn it. There was me like, I said a 58. That's ridiculous. What is that, like 4 seconds off of the 4 seconds off the fastest time on this track? I was like, yeah, man. Shreds will never beat that. 2 seconds later. Hi, Shreds. Oh, Hunty. Whoa, nearly bounced off the floor. I can see myself in front, and I don't like it. I want to be ahead of myself. Oh, underneath the gate. Unbelievable. Just to go over the wires. Don't even have to slalom those. Oosh. That's an enjoyable line. That not so much. Oh, you know what track we should totally get back into trials? DCL, if you see this, which you won't, absolutely. I don't even know the name of the track. What was the one with the carousel? Was it carousel? The one with the thing at the start where you did the spin around the... I don't know. We'll try and find it in a minute. I'm gonna see how close we can get to actually submitting a faster time than my current PB on this track. We'll give it a little while, and if it doesn't go nowhere, then hey, it doesn't go nowhere. If you're watching this on video on demand, courtesy of Twitch TV, then why on earth are you still watching? Fast forward. You can skip this bit. I give you permission. I know Braverick went and watched like a whole grind stream the other day. It was ridiculous. So, if you were around earlier and you saw on Roulette, this is an example of a lap that I know has gone south. That I'm just completing just for the sake of the fact that, you know, I want to make sure that I'm used to flying the rest of that lap. Because it's one thing flying the lap and flying it fast, but you have to remember the rest of the lap, right? Because otherwise you'll hit something, you'll restart, you'll hit something, you restart, you hit something, you restart. But then once you've conquered that obstacle, at that point you have forgotten where, or you've forgotten at least the muscle memory for that next section of track. You know, I find it so many times where I'll be grinding out a track and there'll be one section where I'm consistently, I'm crashing. And then Nate, how's it going? My bad. I don't know how long ago it was that you sent that message to the chat, so I can only apologize. I'm just literally waffling to myself and not paying attention. How's it going, Nate? It's good to see you, my dude. All good. I'm still learning to read chat at the same time as flying, so oh man, I appreciate the follow as well, dude. I'm literally, this is like the first time I think I've ever streamed, so just kind of getting used to stuff. Nate, you fly DCL the game, don't you? I'm sure I've seen you on the leaderboards. You a PC guy or you a PlayStation guy? PS4. Dude, the frame rate on PS4 is horrendous. I made the what? I don't know how the console guys did. Dude, honestly, you know what? I started on DRL. I know that's a swear word. I started on that years ago, and obviously on PC. And I think I was beta testing that and all sorts and whatever. And I got DCL originally. I got it on PC. Dude, sorry. No, I got DCL on PC, and then I don't know. My transmitter kept messing up for some reason. But it turned out that when I had DCL on my PS4, because I was lazy and I wanted to fly from my bed rather than walking to the other room, my transmitter actually worked on the PS4, whereas it didn't on the PC. So I ended up on PS4 for about nearly a year, I guess. And then the sudden realization that it was just like destroying my eyes. Relatable. Dude. Honestly, the frame rate on PC is just, oh, it feels so good. And the times are like, there's some guys on PS4 that are stupid fast for console. And it's like, dude, if you guys were on PC, you would be frightening. And cock that up. Crucial question. Okay, go ahead. $60 Hz. You know what? I don't know what hertz I'm running at. I've got basically I got my setup is actually relatively old now. Like my PC's probably 6-7 years old. I was supposed to be getting myself a new rig over Christmas, but you know how COVID kind of ruined everything, and everyone was working from home and stuff. So I was just like, I better save that money instead. But I did get some like proper bargains on these Samsung monitors. So I'm running like these two 32-inch Samsung curved OLED crazy ridiculous monitors, which are actually really cool. But I have no idea what the I think my frames are up at like 120 or something ridiculous. I have no idea what my hertz are. You're probably correct, to be perfectly honest with you. I really need to like rethink my whole setup in terms of FPS. The big thing that annoys me at the moment is this rig is horrendous for things like anything that's not DCL. Good gaming OLEDs, 120, 100 boy. Hey, maybe I'm gonna have to check that. It's one thing I've never really looked at. I should kind of, yeah, I should check out like settings like that, because I know a lot of the guys, certainly the Alpha Prop guys, we've got a few of us that have moved over to the PC now, and it's kind of like it's all about convincing the other guys in the team that PS4 Pro might have a decent FPS, but it's nowhere near what you're going to get on a PC. And plus it's kind of, you know, there's so much more on the PC version. Like, they introduced like the workshop stuff and all that, and the updates are so much, you're kind of more guaranteed to get the updates as well on the PC version. I think PS4 is just a little bit like, it'll update whenever Sony wants it to, and that's just kind of, I don't know, I don't like that. Who designed the logo? Yeah, funnily enough, it is a copy. Alpha is basically Apex drone racing community team, so it's basically a rip of the Apex logo. Yeah, so like Apex basically have they've been doing this community thing for a long time now. This last year, we've really started pushing it. So myself and a guy called Asylum FPV actually do a whole bunch of social media, YouTube kind of content for Apex. So we went out to Chris and basically said, look, you know, can we do something for Apex within the community, like in terms of actually getting like an amateur kind of team together that we can kind of compete in the leagues and just have a bit of fun? And he was like, dude, absolutely, like take the logo, use the logo, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was kind of cool. Like Chris is well on board with it. Damn. Pog. Yeah, man. It was pretty cool. We I remember like it was funny because this guy Asylum was literally invited me to join Alpha on PS4, and I was like, oh dude, who is this guy? And he was like, oh yeah, I'm working for Apex. Like I was like, dude, find me work for Apex. Like, I want to be involved. You're not a big fan of lags? Oh man, really? What's my time on the team track? Pretty poor. I'm basically, I started off actually today. I was mucking around with Roulette because I filmed I filmed tutorial videos. So for Apex, we did a tutorial for the solo track today, and I was basically setting my time on here before. So it's a 33. So it's not great. I'm trying to get within like maybe 5 seconds, I guess, of top times. I know Andreas has actually put a time in, which was like Apex. There we go. Andreas 28. Solo time's looking good. Solo time's not bad. What team are you repping? Astronaut. Oh man. Yeah, 136. There you go. Here's the pilot times. You can see who it was that beat you. Dude, shreds with the 36. Nate, 31. Dude, killer. Man, you're in Israel? Serious? Global reach with this game. Oof, yeah. Let's give it a go. You fly in real life then, Nate? X-Blades. Oh, cool. Funnily enough, I was actually quite a big X-Blades fan. You race. Oh, that's sick, dude. Tell me about your rig. Mate, don't even go there. Right, hold on. We got I've got one of these now. I was given like the canopy and stuff for this, and yeah, I have flown it once because for that exact reason, basically. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's oh, dude, absolutely. It's a really weird build. I think Apex actually we ran some competitions like last year where they gave away canopies. But I think I was chatting with the guys like last month, and I think the intention is to do that again this year. It was basically like something as simple as yeah, gave away. I know. It was like what, $20 postage or something. I was like, dude, come on. But they want to do it again this year, so I mean, for the sake of like 20 quid, I don't know. Maybe someone will do like a 3D print file or something. Shh. But yeah, I mean, they're kind of cool. It's an interesting build, man. Like 7-inch frame, 6-inch props, canopy. Like, how the hell do you attach a canopy? Like, it was interesting. Funny you should say that. Actually, I think they've got they've got suppliers in Denmark. I think there's the company that they OG drone 5-inch. Nope, OG drones are in DCL is it is a 7-inch frame. Well, it's kind of a bespoke frame. Like it's built by the teams, so it's kind of I think there's like specific dimensions that the quad has to fit inside of, like a box of a certain size. So the quad has to fit inside of that, if I remember rightly. But yeah, the Apex guys actually have a there's a company in Denmark who builds the frames for them. 5-inch prop, nope, 6-inch props. Gemfan Hurricanes. And it's surprising how much sharper a 6-inch prop feels than a 5-inch prop. Like a 5-inch prop will feel sharp, a 6-inch prop will probably like legit cut your finger off. It's ridiculous. You want to know the most interesting thing about flying them is landing the damn thing. Like I've flown race quads before with like I tend to run on DCLs like in the game like 47 degrees of tilt. I am round about there in real life, like 45-ish, something like that. But honestly, it's so weird flying it with a canopy attached and then trying to land it and being aware of this massive, great big bit of plastic sticking out in front. It's like, what? Like, I was properly worried I was just going to spike it into the ground or something. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I bleed almost every section. Oh, man. It's horrible. I don't know how, like, someone needs to make, like, prop tightening gloves or something. I don't know. Like, just something. I was finishing up my Mr. Steel build at the weekend and tightening the props on that and like proper like slashed my hand. It's ridiculous. Do you fly a lot of freestyle when you're not racing? Rubber to hold the bell. Yeah, I know. That's the most annoying thing, is trying to hold the damn thing still. Maybe there's a market for that. Like, that should be a new product, I think. Not creative enough for freestyle. Dude, you do not have to be creative for freestyle. Freestyle is whatever you make it. Freestyle through gates. Hell yeah, man. Full send. I've got a couple of little race gates that I set up at home, but I don't have a lot of space. It's annoying. I've got this great big field. It's a weird situation. Like, there's no one else. I live on like a little island, so I'm the only person here that flies FPV drones. Which means that it's kind of difficult to find places to fly without people just complaining about noise or whatever else. Like, it's a real pain. So I've got this great big field that I'd normally go and fly all my quads at, and I can set up all my race gates, and sometimes I use like a 5-inch or whatever, but like most of the time it's super easy to use like a 2.5-inch, like a tiny little racer, because I can set up a track and it feels really massive even though it's actually just quite a small track. But like like you say, the whole pandemic thing, like I have not flown properly in so long. It's really annoying. So everyone thinks drones are cool. Dude. You create an attraction which is bad. Man, that... No, you're not a big fan of it? No, I can get that. Like, I get that. It's annoying when there's too much attention. Like, I was lucky enough last year. We've got some old fortifications, like big towers and stuff from World War II over here, and they're all kind of abandoned. So I was lucky enough to be allowed to fly some of those last year. But within like 20 minutes of turning up, there was just so many people that it was proper dangerous. And I was like, look, it's all well and good, but can you like not stand where I'm trying to fly and stuff, you know? It's like, and they're all there going, oh wow, what's this? This drone thing, that's really cool. I'm like, yeah, can you just like leave me alone? I get it, man, I totally get it. No one told you to F up? It's difficult, man. I don't know. I think people think of, when people think of drones, I guess they think of DJI photo drones, or you know, they think people are spying on them and stuff and whatever. Like, people are so funny about it. It's weird. Just don't crash. You know it, man. DJI. Have you seen the new DJI FPV quad? Dude, there's so many things online, like all the little they're kind of like teaser images or spoilers, and there's people like, oh yeah, I've seen the new DJI FPV drone. Man, it looks awful. Like, no shade. Yeah, stick to the photography stuff, because that's clearly what's working. Yeah, man, the Tango, I know, right? I mean, the goggles kind of looked cool when I saw them at first, but I don't know, when you see them in real life, they're so big. Like, massive, great big things, you know? Stay on the ground, yes! Did you ever see the Mr. Steel video where he took the shell of like an old parrot or something, I think it was, like a DJI parrot, and then just put like full-on race quad internals in it? I kind of like the idea of doing that. I don't know. Bummer. Yeah, if you want to see my flight vid, I don't mind. She was like, how do we, let's get a little, I tell you what, let's go back, main menu. I'll watch your replay. You got a YouTube, right? I can, you got your YouTube on here? I'll grab it up. I tell you what, we've got okay. How do we get the where is it? If you've got any add to favorites. If you've got any videos that you want, to get featured on the Apex webcast or anything, dude, by all means let me know. We're forever looking for stuff to feature in our webcasts and stuff. We do like one a month, so me and Asylum, I think this month we've got Gundren. Gundren FPV, the guy, he was on our team on Alpha Prop. He was in the McDonald's wildcard thing last year. But yeah, like video features and stuff, absolutely. If you like DM me on Instagram or something, if you've got any videos, just yeah, man, by all means. What are we doing? Similar times. I do like favorites. Nate. He is a top guy, man. He's so good. He's it was funny. He was obviously he was in okay, we were spectating anyway. Yeah, he was on Alpha, and basically I think his friends were all in hot props, and he was like, oh yeah, like he was so nice about the whole dude, do you mind, can I leave kind of thing. Dude, this is a legit lap, man. Tight. Skills. That's nice, man. Yeah, but that's the point of the grind, man. If you screwed up bits, then hey, like that's why you keep grinding, right? That's a solid time, dude. This is like a 31, right? Yep. Right, dude. I gotta knock it on the head for now, because I got work and stuff. I'm gonna get a sub 30 by the end of the week. Mate, do it. Like, absolutely. Those 29s, man, that's what it's all about. In fact, like, I always try and set myself, like, a lot of the tracks is 1 minute. But yeah, I think sub 30s, you'll get it, dude, for sure. You just keep the grind up. Be real. Hey, appreciate it, dude. Thank you for hanging out. It was pretty cool. I'm gonna try and do it every week. So yeah, if you're around, drop in, man. It's good to chat with you. All right, buddy. I will catch you next time. Cheery.